You're watching Up with KREM.
I have 3 daughters at home. Breonna Taylor very well could have been one of them,
This morning, 2 people are facing charges arrested during a Black Lives Matter protest. Up ahead, what else you need to know about that Spokane demonstration.
Schools across the county have announced that they're moving forward with reopening plans. As COVID-19 cases continue rising, we'll explain why schools are able to phase in more students.
43 degrees right now. Take a look at this beautiful sunrise over Spokane. It's going to warm up quite a bit in the 70s today. We're breaking down my full forecast.
And 3 women are making NFL history. Coming up, we'll tell you what they did and the reaction online. 7 a.m. now. Thanks so much for being with us here on Up with KREM. I'm Jen York. This morning we are tracking breaking news from Spokane Valley. A minor is in custody following a fire in Spokane Valley. This is on East 14th and South Dartmouth Road. Nicole Hernandez is joining us live from that scene. Nicole, you spoke with family members and explain exactly what happened this morning.
Yeah, Jen, so the family is obviously very shaken up right now. Their house is completely destroyed from the inside. They're just waiting on American Cross right now to help them out because they will not be able to stay here overnight or for the next few days, obviously. So you can see they've taped off even more of this area now as Major Crimes Unit and Spokane Fire are working to investigate what happened this morning. So there is still a lot of investigating to do, but what we know so far that what happened is that the teenage girl decided to set fire to the house early this morning. She then left the house, and then the family was able to all get out, and police told us that the teenage girl came back about 20 minutes after that fire started, and that's when they arrested her. So our photographer Nate was the first one here on scene, and he saw that arrest happen. And then later that morning, this morning we were able to speak with the woman who is the mom of that teenage girl. She said she has not been in contact with her yet as they have her in custody, but that her and her husband both do have burns. So this teenage girl's mom has slight burns on her arm, but is okay and is here taking care of details. But her husband is in the hospital right now with some burns to his foot and his legs. So, like I mentioned, again, investigators are on scene here working to figure out exactly what led up to this morning. All started around 4 this morning, and we had several police officers and fire trucks here. Now we have a little bit less, but we will make sure to bring you any new information as we get it. Live in Spokane Valley, I'm Nicole Hernandez.
All right, Nicole, that is something we'll continue to track this morning here on Up with KREM as well as on KREM.com. In the meantime, we do want to turn our attention to the weather. Let's check in with Dana Marie McNichol in the Outdoor Weather Center this morning. Dana Marie, chilly start to the day, but boy, we're warming up.
Yes,
we just have to get there.
It is so cold out here, Jen. I think it is officially the first day that I need to wear a jacket outside. It is 43 degrees. Take a look at what we're seeing in Sandpoint, 34 degrees, 33 in Deer Park this morning. It's just a chilly morning, but we are warming up quite a bit. Take a look at your hour-by-hour forecast. 59 degrees at 11 a.m. and then 70s for your high at 3 p.m. and 5 p.m. Now, believe it or not, this is actually the coolest day of the week. For your 3-day forecast, you see 76 for Tuesday, 79 for Wednesday. Clear skies, beautiful conditions. That 79-degree weather is going to last until Sunday. Now, this time last year on September 28th, we saw 2 inches of snow. So much different than what we're experiencing now. I would need much more than just a little scarf last year. So we're going to break down what those conditions look like just coming up in my full forecast.
All right, Dana Marie, thank you so much. 7:04 now. Well, this morning, Spokane police are searching for a missing teenager. To take a look at your screen, if you're not near your TV here, this is Sophia Owens. Her parents reported her missing yesterday to police. Authorities say she was last seen Saturday at her home on South Regal Street. They add her phone was later pinged in Meade. Sophia is described as between 5 feet 6 inches and 5 feet 8 inches tall. She was last seen wearing a maroon and black hooded sweatshirt. Anyone with information is asked to call Crime Check and use the reference case number that you see there on your screen.
Coming up on 7:05, it's time for your morning rush. More news in less time. Spokane police have arrested 2 people at downtown protests over the weekend. Police say one suspect was charged for disorderly conduct for throwing what they believe was a bottle or a rock wrapped in paper at officers. Another male was charged for obstructing an officer after he was reportedly jumping in front of officers on bike patrol. Both were booked into Spokane County Jail. Other protesters were peaceful, saying their work is far from over.
We're still here, right? So we mean it. We're not playing. Nothing is going to derail us. Nothing is going to bring us down. All the decisions, like the decision that just came across with Breonna Taylor, you know, that's meant to be really demoralizing, right? On some message, on some level. And the reality is we've been here for 400 years. We're not going anywhere. We are more determined now than we've ever been, and we will keep leaning in.
The Occupy Spokane movement has secured some potential victories with proposed policy changes within Spokane Public Schools and Spokane City Council. Some of those policy changes still have not been enacted. 2 people at Coeur d'Alene High School have tested positive for COVID-19. According to a post on Coeur d'Alene School's Facebook page, 3 students were in close contact with them. And according to the Public Health District guidance, all 5 students have been notified to quarantine. The building has been appropriately cleaned and disinfected and will remain open. On Friday, the district's Board of Trustees voted unanimously for more in-person classes. Spokane City Administrator Wes Crago has stepped down from his position. A city spokesperson says Crago's heart is with smaller towns. Crago came to Spokane from Ephrata. For now, Spokane's Public Works Director Scott Simmons will step in as interim city administrator as the city works to find a replacement. A federal judge has ruled that national counting for the 2020 census can continue through October 31st. Now, this week would have been the deadline to submit your census form after Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross announced the deadline was shortened to September 30th. The deadline to report those numbers to the president was also shortened to December 31st. That's your morning rush. More news in less time. Let us know what's happening in your neighborhood by using the hashtag #UpWithKREM on social media.
7:07 now. Well, this morning, 3 women are making history in the NFL. Last night, women coached both teams and refereed the game. Yeah, Jennifer King is a Washington football team coaching intern. Callie Brownson works for the Cleveland Browns, and Sarah Thomas is an NFL referee. They met before the game to take this photo of that historic moment. Pretty cool. And a female reporter also joined in from the sidelines. You can see that picture there. You can tell by this tweet. She was pretty excited. Now, each team also gave the women a shout out on social media. The Washington football team, which changed its name earlier this year, tweeted, "All women in the NFL are breaking barriers." And the team's head coach tweeted he could not help but think of the significance and how proud he is to be part of that. Now, the first woman in the NFL was hired back in 2015. Today, there are 7 female coaches on various teams, though a woman has yet to be named head coach. Now, this morning, we want to celebrate all the women in sports, girls too. So ladies, send us your photos of you playing sports, maybe being a fan, or even sharing a memory, just like this cute little one. We want to show you Reagan. She is 3 years old and she plays hockey for the Coeur d'Alene Thunder Ice. There we go. Look at her. Fierce. Love it. So if you have photos like this, you can text us 509-448-2000 and we'll share those coming up here on Up with KREM. Thanks, Reagan, for sending in that picture.
What a rock star. I love it.
I love it.
So now we just got to get baseball to follow up. I know there's already women in the NBA, so that's good. We got to make sure all the sports are covered. And then, like you said earlier, Jen, let's just stop talking about it because it'll be a normal thing, you know?
Yeah, I look forward to the day where this isn't news and this is just part of our normal everyday life. But still, good things happening here in 2020, celebrating those milestones for women.
Yeah, we'll keep our eyes to see if any new stories like that develop. We're also going to keep our eyes on Reagan because she looks like she's going places.
I would not want to face her on the ice, that's for sure.
Not.
She looks fierce.
Absolutely not. All right, coming up this morning, schools in the Inland Northwest are reopening their classrooms. We'll take a closer look at how officials are making decisions on whether students can learn in person this fall.
And you're not going to want to miss my full forecast. Beautiful weather, 80 degrees, summer-like temperatures ahead. We're going to talk about how long that's going to last.